In this lesson, we're going to learn about proportional ratios. So what does it mean for ratios to be proportional? Well, ratios are proportional if they are equivalent. So say if we have these stars and circles, we could say that their relationship shows that there are 4 stars to 7 circles. And if we want to represent this ratio as a fraction, we could write 4/7. And say if we wanted to double the number of stars and circles that we have, we could say that we have 8 stars to 14 circles. And as a fraction, that would be 8/14. Well, if you'll notice, these two fractions are equivalent. Equivalent fractions mean that even though they have different numbers, they still represent the same value. So even when we double the number of stars and circles, it still represents that there are 4 stars for every 7 circles. So these ratios are proportional. Let's look at another example. Here we have a rectangle that's filled with these different boxes. One relationship that we can describe here is that there are 3 orange squares out of 10 total squares. And if we write that ratio as a fraction, it would be 3/10. And let's say that we wanted to increase the number of squares that we have by tripling the number. So here we have 9 orange squares out of 30 total squares. As a fraction, that will be 9/30. And these fractions are equivalent. So even though we have 3 times as many squares, the ratio still shows that there are 3 orange squares out of every 10 squares, even when there's 9 out of 30. So these ratios are proportional. So just remember that proportional ratios are equivalent. So when we represent them as fractions, they should show 2 fractions that are equal to each other.